Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, James Kopp, who has featured regularly on the channel, has a grandson called Isaac. And today is Isaac's 7th birthday, so happy birthday, Isaac. Delighted to do a puzzle that commemorates that. And look, the number 7 has been very heavily employed here, both in all 5 cages in the puzzle, which add up to 7, and indeed also in a huge orange line in the center of the grid. That's fantastic. We will have a look at this puzzle in a moment. We definitely congratulate Isaac on his birthday. Also, I'm going to say, I don't know quite what I imagined James Kopp was like, but I didn't think he had a grandson. I don't know why. No reason he shouldn't. But anyway, we will look at that in a moment. Don't forget that on Patreon we have 2 days ago released the incredible CTC Snake Egg Collection by Philip Bloomer, in which the drawing of the snakes is not the only difficult part. There is also some quite tough Sudoku to do in a couple of the puzzles after that. Do give it a try. It's a fascinating collection of puzzles. The comments are flooding in now, and they are pretty much unilaterally, is that the right word? No, unanimously, that's a better word. Unanimously positive and congratulatory. People have been really enjoying the pack. There's help on Patreon, in the Patreon chat channel if you need it. There are some very kind people there who are prepared to give of their experience and help people get through. And it's a great learning experience. We highly recommend it, as we do all the stuff on Patreon, as of course we do all of our apps which feature Killer Sudoku and Line Sudoku. I think we're looking at Dutch Whispers here, and we have 1 or 2 Dutch Whispers puzzles in the pack. Do check it all out. Those are great apps, frankly, just the best value possible. Let's see what else we got. We've got Sven's SUDOKU PAD and our merchandise also in the links under the video, along with the catalogue of all our puzzles, where to find the Discord server, so much information, even about us. But the first link is to this puzzle, I don't know, Zeven by James Kopp. Zeven, because it's a Z like 7, I guess. Brilliant. And I'm going to do the rules in a moment. I will just say, for people who like Star Wars, may the 4th be with you tomorrow. And let's have a look at this one. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. Adjacent digits along an orange line have a difference of at least 4. And this is Dutch Whispers, not German Whispers, where the difference is at least 5. The small numbers in each cage show the sum of the digits in the cage, and digits cannot repeat in a cage. Normal killer rules. Okay. Give it a try. I'm hoping it's of a suitable standard for a 7-year-old, but honestly, I'm not expecting that. Let's get cracking. So, all of these 7 cages, no, not all of them, but the 4 that are 3 cells long can have 1, 2, 4 written in. That is a hard and fast possibility for us, because any 3 cells that have to be different and add up to 7 are 1, 2, 4. Okay, that's fatuously easy. What is next? And I'm wondering if the next thing is to consider this big perimeter of orange lines, which is fascinating. I've never seen that done in a puzzle before. How do you put together? Now, if this was German Whispers, I would be telling you some fascinating facts, like you can never put 5 on a German Whisper line. You can only put 4 and 6 in places where their 2 neighbours don't see each other, because they only have 1 potential Sudoku neighbour each. And digits must alternate between high and low. Now, I can't tell you those with Dutch Whispers. None of them, in fact, are true. But some scintillas of truth remain about them. What I can tell you is that high and low are terms that we use for the digits 6 to 9 and 1 to 4 in German Whispers. Now, let's still think about those sets of digits as high and low in a Dutch Whispers puzzle. Now, the only way you can change in terms of alternation between high and low is by introducing a 5, which can separate a 1 and a 9. And turn the alternation, like if you were going high, low, high, low, high, low, that's all very well. But if you then have a 5, and you've just had low, which must be a 1, then you have the 5, then you have to have a 9 after it. So now your alternation has changed to being the other cells. And every one of these perimeter rows and columns will have a 5. That's just a Sudoku fact. An absolute knowledge bomb, if you will. So the other interesting thing is, it's not just that the only way you can change alternation is with a 5. Almost everywhere a 5 appears on a Dutch whisper line, it does change the alternation. The only way it doesn't is if it might appear between two of the same digit. Like if this was a 5, these could both be 9s. And then the alternation wouldn't change, it'd still be high here and high here. But on this line that goes around the perimeter, always the two neighbours do see each other. So they can never be the same digit. So every time a 5 appears, it does change the polarity or the alternation of polarity. Now, those digits we've got as low because of... Oh, these two, sorry, they're on the line, aren't they? So they can't be 2 and 5 or 3 and 4. They're too close together. That's a 1-6 pair. Guess who hadn't figured that out? Muggins. Muggins hadn't. So that's one of each. Right. What I was going to say is that every time 5 does appear, especially if it appears in these cells, well, no, every time 5 does appear on this perimeter line, it will change the polarity alternation. Now, does it do it 4 times? How long is this line? Is it an odd length line or an even length line? It must be even, mustn't it? Yeah, 8 there, 8 there. It's a 32 cell line. So the polarity will either change 4 times if 5 appears in that set of digits once, in that set, and in that set. Or it could change twice only, which I'm visualizing as 5 appearing there and there. And then you don't need any more 5s on the perimeter. Now, all of that is fascinating, but this is high because it comes between 2 different low digits. Now, where is 5? Does it appear 4 times on the perimeter or in those 2? If it was in these 2 corners, that would have to be a 9 because of the 1-6 pair looking at it. That would have to be a 1. Oh, and then we would alternate low, low, low. That would be fine. This would go 5, 9, high, high, high. That would be a 6. I'm only just thinking now, whichever side of this 6, whichever side of this cage has the 6, the next digit is a 2. I'm sort of wondering if I should have put together a string of digits that can go round a perimeter, but I think there is... I don't know, do I need to think about that? Okay, let's just have a little think. If I'm just using this row, this yellow row as an aide-memoire. If 5 was there with, say, 1 that side, I'm just choosing a random side, and 9 that side. No, working on that would only apply if it didn't go round the corner, I think. I'm not going to try and come up with the full sequence. Might be a mistake, but I'm prepared to make those. Oh, something else to think about is these 2 digits, which in box 5 cannot be from 1, 2, or 4. Now, one of them must be low, or at least lowish. Let's do it with these 2. That's maybe even better. Again, one of them is low, and when I say lowish, what I mean is if one of them isn't a 3, going with a 7, 8, or 9, it might be a 5 as the low digit, going with a 9. But, oh no, maybe that could be a 5. I don't know, there are just possibilities that get that through, so I'm managing to confuse myself. Maybe I'll go back to think about those being 5s, this being a 9, high, high, 6 there. Then high here, high, right, that wouldn't work because this isn't high. So if 5s were only there and there, and thus only changing the polarity alternation twice around the perimeter, then this digit, which would have to be the 9 because of the 1-6 pair, would clash with that because they're meant to alternate as the same polarity all the way around. Okay, so it's not 2 5s in the corners, it's 4 5s in normal positions around here. Therefore, we do alternate, we do change as we go. Right, we know the polarity alternation here. Then somewhere 5 appears and changes it down here. Now, if it didn't appear, it would be orange, 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 orange. But it does appear and it changes the alternation, so that's blue. And we know the corners aren't 5s now because you couldn't then get 4 5s around the grid. So that's blue. Now, by the time it gets to here, again, a 5 has appeared and changed the polarity. So that's if it didn't, that's blue, that's blue, that's blue, and that's low. But it does, so that's high and that's low. This one's high, this is where the 2 goes, and that's definitely low. And now, it doesn't appear here because the polarity has not changed by the time it gets to this cell. So we can colour in those. Now the 5 has to be in one of these 2 digits. It is going to change the polarity so that this one is blue instead of orange. These are high and 5, so they are 5 and 9. One of these 2 is a 1. I don't know which way around that goes yet. Oh, there's a 1, 2, 4 triple. That's a 3. That's using the box. So this is 1 or 4. Now, yeah, somewhere here. That just confirms somewhere here 5 appears. It's not in box 1 where there's already a 5-9 pair, so I can colour those. But 5 appears somewhere here, along with 9, therefore, in one of these cells. Anyway, let's look down this column. We've got a 7-8 pair around the 3, and that's perfectly legal in Dutch whisperage. Oh, of course, all these 1, 2, 4s are low cells. I think I will be colouring the whole grid here. And where does 5 appear in this row? It appears sandwiched between the 1 and the 9, and we now know where the 9 is. So we can put 5 in there. Then we can alternate these, including filling in the 9 here. That's an 8-7 pair. And this is 2, 3, 4. Now, 4 cannot go next to 7. They're too close together. So it doesn't go here in between 7 and 8, or it would be next to a 7. Wherever it goes, it's 4 next to 7. Yeah, okay. That's all I can say about that. Okay, I'm getting a bit of an idea. Now, there's no 1 in those cells, so that is a 1. Right. 1 is next to 5. That's a 9. Let's colour it. This is 4 at the top. 4 can only be next to 9 and 8, so that's an 8. This can't be 4 anymore. This is low, 1, 2, or 3. We've still got 5 and 9 to fit in there. This can't be 9, which is no surprise. Actually, that can't be 9 either, because I think 9 won't be next to... Oh no, I could be wrong about that. Okay, scrub what I just said. Those don't have a 1 in though, and that now doesn't have a 1 in. So one of those 2 is a 1, and that isn't in the box. Now, in this row, we are going to alternate because we've had the 5. Now, I don't know which way round, but that's going to be 3 greens. They represent either blue or orange, and 3 purples, which represent the other. That's 3 of each. And we've had one blue. This has to be orange. So it's not 5. So the 5 in the box now is going to be in one of these two cells. One of these is therefore a 3. Yes. This is either 3 with 7, 8 or 9. There's definitely a 3 in one of those. The low cells across here include a 1 and either a 2 or a 4. Now, can we keep alternating the parity? Only if we know we're not going to run into 5. Well, we're not there because of where we've just pencil marked 5 in box 1. We might run into 5 there, there, or there, as far as I can see at the moment. So I'd better not keep pencil marking the polarities, or green, purple colouring the polarities. Oh, look, I've got a 4 in that box now. So we get 2 there, 4 here, 2 here, a 1, 4 pair, and now that's 2. And that's a 1, 4 pair. Right, what does that do for us? The other 1 or 4 is in one of these cells, forming an X-wing with a 1 or 4 there, and putting a 1 or 4 down here somewhere. That is quite interesting. What I deduce from that is that this cell is a 1 or 4. Now, what I'm saying is that is a 1, 4 pair. So is that. So 1 and 4 in row 6 must be in those 3 cells. I don't know which this 1 or 4 is, but the other type of 1 or 4 is both in one of those cells and there. But it's also got to be in that 7 cage. So that type of 1 or 4 that is in column 7 can't be in box 3 or box 6. It can't be in that cell, which is 2 or 3. And it can't be here next to where it already appears in the grid. So it must be there. And that is therefore 1 or 4. And I can colour it low and look at the pair. And can't quite... these two are the same polarity. They can't both be blue because we've already had 3 blues. So that turns green into orange or high. That turns purple into blue or low. And that makes this where the home of the 3, the land of the 3, and the home of the brave, perhaps. Now, these two are a 1, 4 pair. We're getting 1, 4s all over this grid now. So, where is the second 1 or 4 in column 5 that isn't here? It's not in box 5, where both appear. It's not in box 2, where both appear. So it's in one of these 3 cells, the second 1 or 4. It could be there. I'm going to have to colour these 1s and 4s against each other because I'm just fascinated by what they're up to. I think they might reveal something in a moment. Yellow, green, yellow, green. They might not. So it's the yellow 1 or 4 that's in one of these. And no, those aren't telling me anything about that. But those need a 3rd instance of their digits in row 9 in one of those cells. So they must be a 1. Excellent. They did reveal something. Thank you, greens and yellows. These yellow ones are 4s, I reckon. Excellent. Now, this can still be a 4. I didn't get to find out about that, which I thought was where I was going, but I did get to disambiguate the 1s and 4s we had. Now, that's going to help on the whisper here, isn't it? This can't be 7. Indeed, 4 has to be next to 8, 9 as a pair. So the other cells in the row are 6 and 7. 3 is next to 7, 8 or 9, I think, yes. This one can't be 1, 2 or 4. And it can't be as high as 6 because of that. So this is 3 or 5. Now, if it's a 3, this is high, 7, 8 or 9. If it's a 5, this could be 1 or 9, but it can't be 1. So this is always high, 7, 8 or 9. This is low unless it's a 5. So it's 2, 3 or 5. What does that leave here? Well, we can't go down from 5 to a 1, so we must go up to a high digit. 2 would need at least 6, and this can't be 6. So this one is 7, 8 or 9 and is high as well. So I don't know if we're going to see a 5, but even if we are, it doesn't matter because it didn't change the polarity alternation in that, on that strut of Isaac's 7. Now, we've got a 2 there and a 2 there. One of these is a 2. And, oops, not like that, like that. That does form an X-wing. That's going to use up the 2 2s for columns 8 and 9. And that means that this can't be a 2, and one of these 2 is a 2. Now, that's 3 or 4. That doesn't force this to be 8 quite. 1, 2, 4, 3. We need a 1 in one of those 2 cells. That's also an X-wing, but that's already catered for. We've got a lot of 1s. There's a 1, though, in one of these 2, and indeed that cell is not a 2 anymore. These are from 1, 3, 6 or 7. This one's specifically 3, 6 or 7. I still got to use these whispers, especially down here where I've done nothing. Haven't really thought very hard about these. Well, you don't get a 5 here because it couldn't be surrounded by 1 and 9. These 2 cells can't be 1s. I don't think this can be a 5 because it couldn't be surrounded by 1 or 9. It's very similar. That is in fact 2 or 3. This now can't be a 5 because that's not low enough. So 5 is in one of these cells along with a low digit, because that we've used up all 4 highs. That low digit is a 1 and we know where that goes because it can't be here. So that's low. There's the 5. This is the 9. 6, 7 and 8 are the remaining high digits. That one can't be an 8. Now, can 6 or 7 be next to 4? I think the answer is no by the rule. So that's 4. Now we need a 4 in the final column. There it is. That has become a 2. That's a 3. That places 2 in the box, which is a low digit, making that a 1. That becomes a 3 by Sudoku. We get the 1 placed again by Sudoku. That one's now high. This has to be high. The 5 has to nest between the 1 and the 9 in the top row, so there it goes. Being a 5, doing 5 things. That's a 2. And that is coming between a 9 on one side, which is the right side, and a 6 or 7 on the other. But that can't be a 6 next to a 3. So I think we're unwinding the puzzle now. This has been a very suitable and excellent puzzle, and ideally commemorates Isaac's birthday, I think. 8, 9, 6, 7. So along the lines, we're really getting stuff done. 7 there means this can't be 5. It's 3. Is that not resolved? No, apparently not. That can't be a 2, and it can't be a 4 in the row. So it's a 3, that's a 2. It is now resolved. 4 can't be next to 7. So I've nearly done the whole perimeter. In fact, Sudoku lets me do the last bits. There we go. So that's a naked 6. Colour it. These are a 5, 9 pair. So are these. 5, 9 there. 6, 7 here. I know their colour. And this one is blue and is 3. That one is an 8, which is orange. I really don't need to be colouring anymore, but I know some of you like it that I continue, so I'm doing it. That's not able to be 3 or 5 in the row, so that's 2. And indeed, I think it's turned out there was no 5 on this. In fact, nowhere on the 7 was there one of our cheeky 5s changing the polarities. 1, 4, 7, 2, 3. Let's look down this column. We need 5, 6 and 8. Okay, that did no good. Let's look down this one. 3, 9, 5 and 6. So that is 5, 6, 9, 3, just like that. Orange and blue. That must be blue and must be 4. That must be orange and is 6 or 7. 6 according to the box. That fixes 5 and 6 up top. 5 and 8 in these two cells. Strangely, I can't deduce that one yet. This is a naked 9. That makes this 8. That makes this 5. Then we can put in 6. This is now a 7. That hasn't contravened the rule. That's also a 7. All the orange line digits are done. That's a 9. I believe 9 is high. That's a 9. We get a 5 there. That's become an 8, also high. We've got a 5 to put in there. 2 digits that we can colour, blue and orange. There, 8 and 4. And then there's a 6, 7 to unwind, and we are done. And we finish with a 7, how appropriately in the puzzle Zeven for Isaac's 7th birthday. Thank you, James. That's excellent. Very, very enjoyable puzzle. And delighted to commemorate the birthday of your grandson. Congratulations to you on that as well. And on creating this rather lovely puzzle. One of the easiest by James Copp I've ever done, which was, I was about to say I forecasted it at the beginning. In some ways I forecasted the opposite, so we will pass over that prognostication. I am no Cassandra. We will see you again next time on Cracking the Cryptic. Do join us for more tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.